Welcome back to Davin's Random, and today a bomb went off in my tool shed. It looks like crap in here, like wow. So, hot water heater time. This is in the new house, and I have not had a chance to go through and look at all the plumbing yet to figure out what I want to do. The problem is the hot water heater is lukewarm, and I know it needs elements, but the tank itself looks like it's pretty good, but it is filled with sediment, which is the reason why you're seeing sediment all over everything right now, is because I have been working diligently trying to clean this thing out. So I wanted to explain to you guys what exactly it is that I'm doing. There must be 3 or 4 inches of sediment in this tank. Now normally you just go buy another hot water heater. I don't have the money to spend on that right now because I just bought some windows for the front of the house. So I'm a little cash poor and I don't want to finance anything. So I'd rather just fix this for now. And really, restoring a hot water heater is very easy. And I was cleaning this out, and basically what I was doing was hooking a hose up to this spigot right here, and no, you can't get the hose through this hole in the tray, so I had to push the tray down. Not a big deal. But if I'm looking along the bottom of this hot water heater tank, there's no rust or anything. So I figured I am just gonna fix this thing. I was hooking the hose up and I could not get this thing to clear out. Tried everything, turning on the hot water inside the house, opening the purge valve, which is closed right now, and could not get this water to flow. So I ended up using the butt end of a plumbing snake, and it does actually fit in this valve. I was very surprised. I was just taking this valve off, then being able to jam this up in there. And what happened was I was giving it little spurts of pressure to be able to push out some of that sediment. And there's one time when I hit the mother load and it was like it just shot sediment everywhere, and I was covered in it, like completely covered in sediment. It was so gross. Yeah, I think there's some sediment in that hot water heater. It's like all over me. God damn it. At this point it should be good enough to actually do a regular service on. I think I got the majority of the sediment out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the traditional way and shut off the hot water heater valve, and then I'm going to turn this open. I'm going to go ahead and open this right here, and we're going to see if it's flowing, and hopefully it is. So you see the hose going out in the driveway there, so it looks like it's just dripping a little bit. Okay, hot water heater, turn that breaker off. When you replace the elements in these hot water heaters, it takes 2. So you have one here, you have one there. These are probably 4,500 watt hot water heaters. It tells you on your label over here. Then you have your anode. And a lot of people don't change the anode, and I know that this has been serviced before, but here's the anode port. Here's where the anode rod is located. Obviously this has never been serviced. This hot water heater is from 2007, so this is 14 years old. So anyway, you take a screwdriver, just tap around this foam bit here. Now the anode rod, think of it as like a sacrificial metal you throw in there, that basically attracts grounding to it versus the elements. And the inside of the tank, basically it stops corrosion on the inside of the tank. Yeah, it's like digging to China. It is actually in that hole, way down there. That was not easy to find. I mean, just to give you an idea, this knife is this long. So it's that far down. So that's a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of insulation that I had to cut through to get to it. So they say it's a 1 1/16 in general. Hopefully that's what this one is. Alright. It's going to be interesting to see the condition of this anode. I imagine it doesn't exist. Yeah. That's what's left of the anode. So that definitely needs to be replaced. I thought I had this thing flowing, but it looks like it isn't. Again. So I'm going to have to open this thing up again and show you guys what I did before. Because I just pulled the anode out, I can't purge it using the water line anymore. So that means loosening up this cover. And let me screw this back in just a little. Makes it a little easier. Anyway, it should be flowing out of there. So I'm using the butt end of my drain thing again. And that means it's gonna be plugged up with crap again, which it is still. Look at that. And there it goes again. That's how you do it. So now I've got that kind of blocked off. You can see water's flowing through it pretty well now. Now look at all the sediment that I've already pushed out over here. That is a lot. Okay, so to change out your elements, just look over here at the 240 and 208. And so I need two 4500 watt elements. That is what I'm gonna go retrieve, and a anode bar. Well, that was costly. Yeah, $75. Wow. So I ended up getting this anode rod. This is actually what they're supposed to look like. That is huge compared to what it was. And then I had to get these elements, and the reason why is because this tank is kind of skinny. I don't think I could have used the long ones. If you have a fat tank, you can get these straight elements. They're about half the price. These are $20 each. So I was thinking I was going to spend like 40 bucks, and it ended up being double that. I guess it's still better than spending $500 on a new hot water heater. But like I said, the tank itself seems to be okay. I still haven't found any rust in this tank, so I guess I'm golden there. Interesting. So here's the element. Now I showed you that I shut the breaker off, but I always like to use a test tool just to make sure that I don't eat 240 volts. So I'm golden. This is 1.5 inches. They actually sell a special socket that you can buy, and I'm pretty sure I have that socket here somewhere. Where? I don't know. So that sounds like typical me. Anyway, you undo your electrical connections right there. Just get those two wires off. It doesn't matter which side they go on once you screw in the new element, because you're just adding power to it. There is no plus or minus. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Oh, these are the straight ones. But wow, look at that. No wonder my hot water heater didn't work. Okay, so these come with this rubber gasket on here already, so you don't have to worry about plumber's tape or anything like that. You can see there's the old gasket plus a bunch of hard wire deposits. My God. Oh, that is terrible. Feeling the inside of the tank, aside from around this connection, I have to clean off really well. The tank itself feels smooth, so that's a good sign there. I think it's just going to be all the hard water buildup at the bottom. So anyway, make sure you get all the crud cleaned out of there. It's kind of what we're looking at here. I think that looks pretty clean. Let's just slide it in there. So I guess I could have made this a $50 install if I would have checked the elements first. That would have made sense, but whatever. So before I drop the anode in, it's going to require some sort of plumber's tape, Teflon tape, or some sort of sealant on it to make sure that it doesn't leak, because it'll be under a little bit of pressure. So if I remember right, you go against the threads. Is it against? I think it's against. You go against the threads when you're laying it in, so that way when you actually screw it in, it doesn't pull the tape off. So yeah, it's wrapping it counterclockwise. We can drop this in. Luckily my ceiling is just high enough. If for some reason your ceiling's real low, you can actually cut this or nip it here or something. But these are just big, soft aluminum rods that allow the minerals in the water to just eat away at it versus it actually eating the tank. And then drop it back in there. And just make sure that you're not cross-threading it. Okay, I believe that's in there. Okay. And that's a huge mess. I'm going to leave that uncovered. And basically, once the thing gets hot, I just want to make sure that it's not leaking, so I want to be able to visually see it. Clean off all the foam and all this crap that I left up here. It still blows me away that that's all that's left of it. Anyway, it should be good to go now, so we can start filling it. But I am going to flush it just a little bit more, just to make sure I got all the crap out of there. Yeah, see, this isn't coming out clear yet. There's still sediment in there coming out. So I'm going to keep flushing this until it's clear. So I open the water line up, and I'm just allowing fresh water to flow through it. Look at that. Wow, now it got super milky. Check that out. That's nasty. So this is probably a fifth of the sediment that I pulled out. One thing I should also mention is to be sure and check your temperature adjustments. So you can see this one's turned up just a little bit. You might want to back it off just a touch. As these elements get plugged up, people have a tendency to turn them up, increasing the temperature. So when you put new elements in, make sure you turn these back down to where they should be. I just turned the water back on the hot water heater. Now I got to get all the air out of the system. There we go. Jesus. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Done? Done yet? There we go. Now that all that's done, it's time to turn the breaker on. And then it's like having a new hot water heater. Yay! I'm David from David's Random. Subscribe for more weird information like this. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya.